Why does everyone think you're in charge of the finances? I mean, everyone...
Yeah, no, this is something I've begun to realize because Kody was always telling everybody that I was somehow calling the shots on the money.
But she's like, I saw where all the money was going, and how much money Kody took and how much money Robyn took was a lot more than you were taking. We didn't know, we never knew what the other wives were getting money-wise. We just understood what we had, but Janelle saw it all. And Janelle doesn't say much, and she's very tight-lipped.
Pour yourself a fresh cup of coffee because Janelle Brown has just cracked open the family's bank secrets, and what she found will make your jaw drop faster than you can say, "Not on my watch." Picture this. Janelle, ever the responsible bookkeeper, spends a late evening at her kitchen table with reading glasses perched on her nose and a stack of old joint account statements. Something hasn't felt right about the Coyote Pass bills, so she decides to reconcile the numbers once and for all. As she highlights line after line, a pattern leaps off the page like a neon sign.
Robyn never received any of the money. When we bought our houses, Robyn's kickback from the house went to other family members.
Boutique purchases here, high-end home decor there, and a hefty transfer labeled Coyote Pass Development Fund that somehow lands in Robyn's personal account. Janelle's heart skips a beat. She keeps digging, scanning every sheet into neat PDF folders. Because if you are going to confront a problem, you bring proof. The next morning, under the bright studio lights, Janelle looks straight into the camera, steady voice, shoulders squared, and says, "I traced every penny, and these withdrawals all point back to Robyn." The crew falls silent. Boutique charges on the same days Kody swore the family card was maxed for groceries, furniture upgrades that look less like budget needs and more like a decorator's dream list. And let's talk about that special Coyote Pass wire, larger than most of us will ever see in one transaction, sliding quietly into Robyn's name. Janelle's verdict lands with calm, seasoned authority. For years, I was painted as the one controlling the money, but the real spending spree was happening elsewhere. She snaps the folder shut and the internet lights up.
He was like, oh, okay. Because I think that he thought that I was keeping money from him or from the family. I'm like, no, let me show you what I have contributed.
Women on Facebook are sharing spreadsheets, TikTok creators, yes, even the over 40 crowd, are trading their own family finance stories, and everyone is asking, how long has this been going on? Robyn, we hope your notifications are muted because Janelle just woke up every penny-watching woman in America. And trust me, once the fiscal dragon is awake, she does not go back to sleep. Let's roll up our sleeves and walk through the paperwork because the numbers tell a clearer story than any family meeting ever could. Janelle arranged the statements in tidy piles, Flagstaff mortgage records, boutique invoices, Coyote Pass ledgers, and color-coded every withdrawal. First, the boutique column, a string of charges that read like a shopping montage. Silk scarves on Tuesday, artisan jewelry on Friday, $700 cashmere throws the following week. All shipped to Robyn's address, even on days Kody insisted money was too tight for the communal grocery run. Then comes the home improvement ledger. Remember when Kody mentioned modest upgrades to the Flagstaff house? Janelle's printouts beg to differ. One invoice lists custom light fixtures for nearly $8,000. Purchased the same month Janelle's refrigerator had to limp along with duct tape because funds were frozen. Another line, a specialty landscaping service that cost more than some college tuitions, all stamped paid in full from the joint account. But the real bombshell hides in the Coyote Pass folder. There, in black ink, is a wire transfer labeled Development Fund well into the six-figure range, moving from the family LLC straight to an account titled Brown Robyn Holdings. No shared signature, no board approval, just Kody's electronic authorization.
I was leaving Kody, and there was no way I wanted to be tied to him in any way, shape, or form, and I did not like to deal with him at all on anything, and especially on finances. No, thank you.
Janelle circled it in red, scribbling in the margin, transfer never disclosed. Why? She flagged similar transfers, smaller but steady, like breadcrumb trails leading to the same destination. To be thorough, Janelle cross-checked the dates with family calendar notes. Boutique splurge. Same weekend Kody claimed he was coaching the boys on a budget. Landscaping invoice coincided with Robyn's social media post about recharging at home. When you line up the logs, the pattern is undeniable. Household sacrifices went up precisely when Robyn's wishlist spending did. Holding these folders on camera, Janelle didn't raise her voice. She let the pages speak. This is not rumor, this is record. We all tightened our belts, while someone else ordered a bigger belt buckle. And every woman who's ever balanced a checkbook while someone emptied it felt that truth in her bones. Hop in the time machine for a moment, because to understand Janelle's outrage, we have to revisit the day she proudly accepted the role of family bookkeeper. Picture it, a modest living room meeting, kids buzzing around with homework, and Janelle, legal pad in hand, volunteering to manage the household budget. Kody beamed, Robyn nodded sweetly, and the other wives exhaled in relief. Janelle's knack for spreadsheets felt like a lifesaver at the time. She tracked every utility bill, tucked away emergency savings, and taught the teens the difference between debit and credit. For years, that system ran smoother than grandma's sewing machine. Then little things started nagging at her intuition. A credit card alert for a boutique purchase she did not recognize. A late notice on the property taxes, even though she distinctly remembered scheduling the payment.
She had too much influence on our money, and in the end, we're just getting us straightened out at the end.
Kody brushed off her questions. The bank's glitchy, honey. Let it go. Janelle wanted to believe him. After all, she prided herself on trusting the process. But each time she reconciled the monthly statements, more loose threads appeared. The joint account balance dipped lower than her meticulous record predicted, and deposits Kody promised to make never quite materialized. She remembers one evening in particular, bills spread across the dining table, lamplight casting long shadows, and Kody strolling and humming, carefree as a lark. Janelle hesitated, then pointed to an overdraft fee. Kody waved it off. Probably a clerical error? You worry too much. It felt like a pat on the head, the kind you give a child asking why the sky is blue. It stung. Still, she gave him the benefit of the doubt, because that is what partnerships do, right? Fast forward to the present, and Janelle can finally name that feeling, betrayal dressed up as reassurance. She realizes Kody and Robyn's clerical errors piled up precisely because they trusted she was too conscientious and too loyal to question loudly. By handing her the checkbook, they also handed her the blame. And now that she has the logs to prove it was never her mismanagement, the shock has settled into something colder, steelier, resolve. Janelle will not wear the scapegoat badge another day. Now let's talk about Kody's favorite magic trick, the disappearing act of accountability. Whenever a wife raised her hand about a suspicious charge, Kody had a ready-made line delivered with a half smile. Ask Janelle. She's the accountant. It sounded harmless at first, almost flattering. After all, who wouldn't want to be trusted with the books? But over time, that friendly deflection turned into a concrete wall.
There was no reason for them to think that I wasn't going to be fair.
Well, it feels like there was some distrust there that you weren't going to be fair.
Because Janelle and Mary are both leaving me going, wish I had some way to get alimony.
A late mortgage payment? Janelle must have mixed up the due date. A sudden dip in the emergency fund? She probably shifted it to savings. The subtext was crystal clear. If something looked off, Janelle was at the wheel. And he repeated that line so often the whole family started parroting it. That, ladies, is textbook gaslighting. Serve the blame with a smile until everyone questions their own memory. Janelle remembers a Sunday dinner when Christine asked why a Coyote Pass bill was higher than usual. Kody chuckled, leaned back, and said, "Trust me." Janelle balanced it. Christine settled down, and the conversation moved on to dessert. Only later did Janelle realize she had never even seen that invoice. Kody banked on one thing, her instinct to smooth things over instead of creating a scene. He used the same technique in public. When fans asked on social media why the family finances seemed murky, Kody would post videos praising Janelle's sharp financial mind. It sounded like a compliment, but it quietly pinned any future fallout on her shoulders. If an audit ever came knocking, Kody could shrug and point to months of footage saying, "See, I trusted her." Meanwhile, Robyn was apparently enjoying a new set of patio furniture. The brilliance, if we can call it that, rested on repetition. Say it often enough, and even the person being blamed might accept it as truth. For a while, Janelle did. She'd lie awake at night, replaying every receipt in her head, wondering if she had indeed missed something. Now, holding those bank logs, she finally sees the spin for what it was. Kody's smokescreen to keep all eyes off the real money trail. And once you spot the trick behind the curtain, that magician's power evaporates.
And if the land isn't getting paid off, and if Kody can't come up with a paper trail if a wife were to ask for an accounting of where their money was going, I mean, that would all be Janelle's fault.
The moment Janelle shared her findings, Christine's eyes narrowed with instant recognition. She'd seen this play before, just acted out on a different stage. Back when Kody decided she was too emotional, he weaponized her deepest fear, not being wanted. If Christine questioned his decisions, the affection disappeared overnight. Now she realizes that while she was fretting over lost kisses, Janelle was poring over empty ledger columns. Same tactic, different targets. Mary, always the one trying to keep the peace, sat quietly as Janelle laid out the bank logs, but halfway through, she let out a breath that sounded more like a 30-year exhale. "The property lots," she murmured. Remember when Kody insisted her Coyote Pass parcel needed to be downsized for tax reasons? At the time, it felt like another bump in their rocky road. Seeing Janelle's transfers in black ink, Mary suddenly wonders if that tax adjustment was just another shell game. Slide some land value here, pad the personal fund there, and blame the math on anyone but himself. The three women trade stories like puzzle pieces on a kitchen table. Christine's intimacy, bait and switch, Mary's shrinking lot size, Janelle's phantom boutique bills. Patterns emerge so fast, it's dizzying. Each hurt centers on what matters most to the victim. Affection for Christine, security for Mary, financial integrity for Janelle. And each wound conveniently shields Kody and Robyn from scrutiny while elevating their comfort.
Mary is genuinely surprised to learn that Janelle isn't controlling the purse strings. The fact that Mary was funneling money and not asking questions is shock.
By the end of the conversation, the atmosphere shifts from shock to determination. Christine scrolls through her phone and pulls up an old text thread where Kody blamed a Coyote Pass survey delay on accounting confusion. Janelle nods toward her printouts. Same month as the landscaping splurge. Mary quietly pushes her property documents into the growing pile. The evidence is no longer scattered anecdotes. It's a mosaic of manipulation for the first time in years. All three original wives see the same picture, and that clarity is more powerful than any apology Kody could muster. Because once you map out the pattern, you also chart the exit route. Let's revisit that heartbreaking day none of us will forget, Garrison's funeral. While the family gathered to honor a young life cut short, Kody and Robyn managed to turn the graveside into their own two-person showcase. Remember the photographs? Kody's hand anchored on Robyn's knee, her head resting on his shoulder as if they were at a Sunday picnic rather than their son's burial. At the time, many of us chalked it up to tone-deaf affection. But Janelle's bank logs cast that moment in a stark new light. Here's why. The week of the funeral, a sizable withdrawal, well into 5 figures, left the family account under the label Emergency Travel Expenses. According to Janelle's records, airfare and modest lodging would have totaled only a fraction of that amount. The rest, a Home Depot charge for patio renovations and a boutique stop in Las Vegas. Yes, during the same window, Kody was weeping on camera about unity and loss. Household funds slipped quietly into purchases that benefited only one household. Christine recalls standing a few rows back, holding Mary's trembling hand, while Kody fussed over Robyn's coat in the chilly wind. Now she wonders if that dramatic display served a dual purpose: draw every eye to their grieving embrace while distracting from questions no one yet knew to ask about missing money.
Like, there's a bias, and I don't want to do that anymore.
All I can think is that it's somehow driven by his ego. In some regards, especially coming from the culture that we come from, he's a failure to have lost all his marriages.
Janelle nods, remembering how Kody brushed off her logistics emails that week. Too busy, he said, with funeral preparations. Apparently, preparations included a deluxe floral order charged to the joint card and delivered exclusively to Robyn's home. Mary, voice soft but steady, points out the cruel irony. Garrison's passing could have drawn the family together, yet Kody's choices widened the rift. Money that might have gone toward a scholarship in Garrison's name instead bought designer throw pillows. Public affection masked private withdrawals. For the wives, that realization twists the knife deeper. A moment meant for shared mourning became another chapter in the manipulation playbook. Emotional theater up front, financial sleight of hand backstage. And for viewers who once felt uneasy watching those funeral clips, Janelle's receipts finally explain why our instincts rang alarm bells that day. The moment Janelle's bank log revelation hit the internet, the sister wives community turned into a full-blown detective squad, complete with reading glasses, coffee refills, and color-coded sticky notes. On Facebook, seasoned moms and quilting groups paused their patchwork projects to post side-by-side screenshots of boutique invoices and Flagstaff decor hauls. "Ladies, does this lamp look like it belongs in a budget-crunched home?" one woman asked. Replies stacked up faster than a holiday cookie exchange. "That is a $400 Tiffany replica. I have the catalog." Meanwhile, on TikTok, Gen X creators dusted off ring lights to share stitch-by-stitch breakdowns of Janelle's PDFs. One popular clip shows a former bookkeeper, hair in a sensible bun, annotating every transfer with digital highlighters. "See this line? Development fund my foot." she says, tapping the screen like she's scolding a teenager. The video racks up tens of thousands of likes before lunchtime, proving that spreadsheet drama can, in fact, go viral. Reddit's Sister Wives forum becomes a hive of amateur forensic accountants. Users cross-reference county land filings, screenshot jewelry listings identical to Robyn's latest Instagram selfie, and tally grocery bill discrepancies with a precision that would make the IRS blush.
It was like Janelle's mom told me, hey, you better cool this. We might have gotten to some bad places as a family because I always envied those families that could actually do the PDA.
One thread titled, "Who Paid for the Cashmere Throw?" hits 500 comments in 2 hours. Half speculation, half crowdsourced math tutoring. Even YouTube reacts. Longtime recap channels invite certified public accountants to explain how a family LLC can morph into a personal piggy bank if no one audits the books. What makes this frenzy different from past internet storms is the demographic powering it. These are women who balance household budgets, negotiate mortgage rates, and know the exact price of butter at 3 different stores. They are not here for rumor. They are here for receipts. The hashtag #BankLawGate trends on Twitter, but it is the private Facebook chats, the group texts, and the PTA hallway whispers that carry the real momentum. Because when women of a certain age smell financial funny business, they do not just tweet. They gather facts, call lawyers, and label folders. Robyn may have muted her notifications, but the National Sisterhood just turned on the porch light and pulled out the calculator. And if Kody thought this storm would blow over, he clearly underestimated the power of grown women armed with spreadsheets and a righteous sense of fairness. Let's set down the gossip teacup for a minute and pick up something sturdier. Call it our financial self-defense mug. Because what Janelle uncovered isn't just bad bookkeeping, it's a textbook case of financial abuse, and it shows up in more households than we'd like to admit. Here's the pattern in plain English. Step 1. Isolate the family funds. In the Browns' world, that meant a joint LLC and one pot of money. Everyone trusted. Step 2. Appoint a fall gal, Janelle, the diligent budget keeper. Step 3. Siphon cash toward a favored corner. Hello, Robyn's boutique, while deflecting every question with a smile and a "talk to Janelle, she's in charge." Step 4. When bills start bouncing, blame the fall gal, who is too loyal and too exhausted to demand an audit.
Was it uncomfortable when he would be demonstrative and show some PDA?
It was always uncomfortable and awkward. It still is now when I see it with him and Robyn. It's like, because I feel like now it's almost like I'm throwing it in your face, and I don't like that.
Sound familiar? Many of us have seen a version of this. A partner who handles the finances, yet new charges keep popping up like mushrooms after rain. The pop psych term for this is coercive control through money. Narcissistic types love it because dollars equal freedom, and if they hold the purse strings, they hold your options. It starts subtly. I'll pay the bills. You hate math. Then, the debit card accidentally declines at the grocery checkout, and somehow you're apologizing. By the time you notice the pattern, your name isn't even on the utility account. Red flag checklist. See if any ring a bell. Mystery withdrawals labeled miscellaneous. One partner insisting the other is bad with money, despite evidence to the contrary. Big purchases for the family that benefit only one person. Guilt trips whenever you ask for a full statement. Don't you trust me? If 2 or 3 boxes light up, it's time for a serious talk or a serious exit plan. Remember, asking for transparency is not nagging. It is financial literacy, and it can save your retirement, your credit score, and your peace of mind. So, kudos to Janelle for shining a floodlight on the ledger. Her courage is a reminder that grown women do not need permission to read their own bank statements, and that a little audit can go a long, long way. Now that the math is out of the shadows, the original 3 wives are moving from "wait, what?" to "watch this." Janelle's first order of business: a full-blown forensic audit. She has already phoned a tax attorney who eats LLC entanglements for breakfast, and a penny-pinching CPA who once found $40,000 hidden in a church bake sale fund. Their marching orders: trace every dime from the first Coyote Pass, payment to the last boutique splurge. If an accountant so much as rounded up on a receipt, Janelle wants it highlighted in neon. Christine, never one to let good drama go to waste, is gathering her own paperwork for what friends jokingly call Operation Coyote Truth. She is consulting a real estate lawyer about partitioning the land, just in case a court decides certain parcels were misallocated. Picture Christine on the witness stand, manicured finger tapping a survey map saying, "That acre? Paid for with my cookbook royalties. Thank you very much." Mary, quiet but fierce, has contacted an estate planning firm to review every trust, deed, and will. Her angle is simple. If any family funds propped up Robyn's Flagstaff dream palace, the ledger owes Mary interest. A friend close to her says she is also considering a civil claim for misrepresentation, because when you sign property papers in good faith and later discover creative bookkeeping, judges tend to raise eyebrows. Behind the scenes, the women have set up a shared cloud folder, password-protected, wall-to-wall PDFs. They meet on Sunday evenings for what Janelle calls receipts and refreshments. No men, no cameras, just 3 women and a growing stack of evidence. 1 sip of herbal tea, 1 click of the scanner. Every line item they verify tightens the net a little more around Kody and Robyn's version of events. The message is clear. If Kody thinks the financial blame game ends with finger-pointing, he's about to learn what accountability looks like when seasoned women take charge of their own checkbooks. So here we stand, bank logs exposed, audits pending, and 3 determined women rewriting the family balance sheet. Will Robyn face a tax season hotter than an Arizona July? Could a judge order the Flagstaff home appraised and the boutique inventory liquidated? And if the courts dig deep enough, might Kody's entire one-pot philosophy crumble like week-old cornbread? Tell me, do you think Janelle's audit will uncover even bigger surprises? Or will Kody find yet another way to spin the numbers? Which legal move has you cheering the loudest? Christine's land partition, Mary's misrepresentation claim, or Janelle's forensic deep dive? Jump into the comments with your thoughts. While you are there, tap like, hit subscribe, and keep those notifications on. A fresh video is already queued up, and something tells me the next round of receipts will be even juicier than the last.